Tonight I'm going to talk a bit about why Forex, and then I'll get into what I think of um, where certain currency pairs are at right now. And as you can see, every one of mine is in the red, which is not a good spot to be in. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, I want to tell you about why I chose Forex. I was doing stocks for a little while during the crisis in 2020, and I did make a little bit of money. However, I found that you have to wait a long time for the stocks to bounce back. And well, now that I say that, I understand. I'm in the red right now and I have to wait a long time for these things to bounce back. But another thing is, I noticed that I would place an order and I would have to wait minutes for the order to fill. Whereas here, if I place an order and I hit submit and submit trade, it will happen instantly. And that's the beauty of Forex. There's always people buying and selling currency pairs. So there is absolutely no wait time whenever you're buying and selling currencies. So that's one reason. Another reason is if you look at the monthly chart, it's a pretty stable market. So this is the Europe USD, and if I were to buy this pair right here, you can see that back in 2003, it definitely hit that range. And again in 2006, and it just touched it in 09, and again in 14. And you get the point. It's up and down like crazy, which means it's pretty relatively easy. I'll say relatively easy to make money if you're patient and you don't get too emotional about it. Now with a stock, the problem with stocks is if you shorted Tesla, for example, when it was $100, thinking it would return to where it once was, you'd be in a lot of trouble right now because it went up to, don't quote me on this, I think $800 at one point. So that's really bad if you shorted that stock. Whereas let's say if I shorted this currency pair right here, it went up past this mark here. Okay, let's say I did it right here, for example, in 2006. I would have had to wait a while, but potentially in 2009, I could have got out with a minimal loss. And had I been a little more patient, 8 years of patience, I would have made a little bit of money. Now, depending on how much I put in, of course, and if I used margin, leveraged, margin, maybe I would have paid so much in interest that it would not have been worth sticking around. However, the beauty of it is that it tends to go up and down within a defined range for the most part. So I'm going to have to figure out a better way of recording these videos. I'll probably do screen sharing in the future. And I'm not sure I'll show my face for the first while just because a lot of people trust me. And I have another channel with a lot of followers or subscribers, I guess. And here's the thing. I have made money doing Forex, but I also lost in my first few months probably almost half of my account. Thankfully, I was patient and I stayed in it and I built it back up slowly. But a lot of people would just, call it quits right there, and for good reason. It's really risky, and I don't want to recommend this to my friends or even you guys. If you're exploring this, you really need to consider if it's for you, because what do you do when you put in $10,000 that you borrowed, which was me, and it goes down to $5,000? Do you panic sell? I did that. And then thankfully I bought back all the pairs that I sold because I realized they were at a low and it could only go up from there. Now they did go down lower, but they eventually came back after, I want to say 3 or 4, maybe 5 months. They all came back and then some. So I did make a little bit of profit on the ones that cost me half my account, but not everybody would be that patient. And you know what? It could have taken like this 8 years. So that's just the fair, honest warning. If you're considering Forex, please consider that. And I'm sorry, our kids are overtired and they don't want to go to bed, so you might hear some crying in the background. I do have the door closed, so maybe you don't. Anyway, so that's why I chose Forex, because unlike a business, it typically won't crash or skyrocket to the point of no return. So that's, I find it kind of safe in that way. Now, let me show you my progress, or I guess I can stay in this app. This is a great app, by the way, Owanda. I'm not sponsored. I have one subscriber, and yeah, it's. I'm just gonna move so you don't see my account number here. Oh, I guess I didn't have to. Okay, so, and if I do accidentally show you my account number, I can always blur it out when I edit the video. So here, if I choose, oh, it's already at the all. So you can see in July, I started in May. In July, I went down a few $1,000s. It was pretty scary. And then it gradually went up. And when I broke even and made a little money, I decided to put an extra 40,000 in. We had sold our house at this point, so I had some cash and I'm no longer using borrowed money. And it just shot up. And then I got, this is kind of counterintuitive, but I started watching YouTubers who do Forex, and it kind of messed with my head. And maybe that combined with not having any stop losses, I started racking up all these trades that are in the red, except for that one. And so that's why you can see that my account is only worth, well, only 59,000, even though, let me see how I can do this without showing you my account number. And you can click the link below yeah, I probably can't show you this without account number. But all the closed trades ended up being $68,000, and that's why I say I only have 59,000 if I close all the trades right now and walk away, which is not bad considering I started out with 50 grand about 3 weeks ago. So that's really impressive. That's unheard of. 20% return in 3 weeks. You can't really do that in stocks unless you're doing options or you get really lucky. And options are so risky, you can lose everything. So that's why Forex. Now let's get into the currency pairs tonight. And I drew these lines in myself. So this is Australia, Swiss franc. And I'm in the monthly chart. So the daily. I'm liking this one. So it's hitting a point of resistance there. I drew in that line myself. And if it comes back down from there and closes lower today, I might short this one because it's been around that point of resistance there. So if it comes back down, I might actually short this in a couple of hours before I go to bed and see if it closes overnight. I've set up my trades to take profit around $100 so that I can make a lot of trades, and they tend to do well that way. But that's just me. You need to figure out what works for you. And it's worked for 3 weeks, but that could change. Not a lot of people make money doing Forex. Something like 80% fail, or maybe even 90, I don't really know. So time will tell. So subscribe if you're interested in seeing my account crash or rise. Who knows, right? So I am keeping an eye on that one. Australia, New Zealand. This is kind of hitting support here. So I will wait to see. I already have some in it going long. So if it comes back down and hits that pink line again and goes back up from there, I might double down on this number or just watch it go past where I bought into it. So I would wait on that. here it looks like I'm long, and I just went long again tonight before this video because it looks like it's not going past that support line there. So I think it's safe to enter that trade, but don't follow me. Do your own research because I'm not by any means a financial advisor, but that's what I'm doing right now. So you can do what you want with that info. This one might be a buy in a few days, but again, I'd wait to see what happens. Great Britain USD. Yeah, I should have probably waited for it to get closer to that resistance. So there you have it. There might be one or two trades I'll look at today. I made about 500 bucks this morning, and so I was able to reduce one of my positions, one of the big losers, by I think 130 bucks, and it was, if you look at my portfolio positions, it was this one here, I think, Australia US. So if I go to activity, yeah, it was Australia US. I reduced it and lost $130. So I'll keep reducing that one until it's under $1,000 in the red, and then I'll move to the next one that's a big loser. So I'm not too much in a drawdown situation, but I'll try to do it less than my locked in profits every day. And that's how I'm going to address all my red ones. Hopefully I can make them shrink a little bit and then get this number closer to that 68,000. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button if you did, and thank you for sticking around to the end. Till the next one, cheers.